All right. Let's see what we got here. So, looking at what we got this morning, let me go ahead and pull up this kid. All right. Am I unmuted? I am. So, today we see quite a bit of continuation on PCSA for pre-market. It has actually double tapped a level, the previous monthly high during pre-market. So let's jump over here to the larger time frame. On the monthly chart, the previous high of the last month was 715, right? 715 out here. And we see that during pre-market, if we come over here to like the 4 hour or whatnot, we can see that 715 got tested pretty heavily up here, right here. Okay. And has come all the way back down to 620. So PCSA, if any of the normal holders of this stock wanted to sell, they had plenty of time to sell through all of this pre-market area. So we'll see what kind of action comes today. Today will be a little bit of a shorter stream. I got a meeting to get to a little bit earlier today. I didn't know if anything would be like super hot today, but we'll look through and I will see what we see up until the open. Anyway, one of the other things that I had been watching to come down was Tesla. So we jump over here. Tesla, our boy Tesla, has definitely made a move down. Now, this is the original area. I think earlier this week on Monday, I was showing you guys, I was looking for this area to be tested below the 200s, and this whole area has been tested. So at this point, I'm not going to add to my position on my Tesla trade because of the size of this previous month. I wanted to show me some consolidation below this level, 175s or whatnot. Show me some consolidation before I add anything, because this thing had a lot of motion coming down from the 250 all the way under the 200. That's a $50 move down. So I'm waiting for a little bit of consolidation, and we can look back on the charts. We can see when this thing did come down into this area, it had, 2 or 3 months just sitting here. Now, Tesla is kind of like a meme stock. It's got a lot connected to it. It's got Elon Musk, it's got Tesla, the actual company, and then it's got a bunch of crypto implications connected to it as well. So sometimes when we see good, crypto news, sometimes Tesla gets a little volatile. When we see Elon Musk news, Tesla gets volatile. Then when we see Tesla move or Tesla news, specific to the company, like the AI news or building the flying cars and all of that, it gets a little bit wild. So I'm gonna wait for some consolidation. I'm gonna give it a while. Give it a couple of months. I'm good waiting. 2, 3, 4 months, and then starting to add to that position on my options play. And let's see. Looking on the daily chart, yeah, we have definitely. This was a nice gap down here. One day you're sitting at 208, and then the next you're sitting down here at 182. Good thing is I'm still building the position. I haven't even reached the full size of the position, so I'm not super hurt by any of this. Good morning, Lori Lee. Good morning, Donnell. Yep. So yes. Oh my goodness, PCSA. I just looked away. It was at $6. What happened, Donnell? Didn't we talk about this last yesterday at the end of market? We talked about this. Look at this dump. Look at this dump, y'all. I was like, let me pull up my Discord. Look at this. Me and Donnell, we was in Discord talking about this. Where is it? Trade analysis. Right here. The last thing we was talking about. Donnell says, agree. Slow walk down. Difficult to find best entry. where did I say this at? PSA was no good. Then aftermarket was partying. And then Donnell said, I noticed on reverse splits first they announced the split, then they PR, and it runs after hours. They keep the pump going. And then I said, yep, I'm satisfied, and I misspelled it. I'm satisfied because during my usual trade time frame, I did not see the setup, and I just went on with life. Well, let's see what kind of dump that it will do or it will get on Friday. And what's happening? What's happening? Absolute massacre back into these levels under 4. That's insanity. So yeah, that's why we don't hold overnight, right? Somebody buying this thing, thinking it's going to go higher, especially people that bought in this consolidation here around $6 or $7. This consolidation thinking it was going to go higher, and they just never got back to that level. But if we look on the higher time frame, it made sense because the news didn't really facilitate a new breakout. It was a reverse split, so it's not like the company got more valuable. They did something to continue to follow the requirements of Nasdaq. So that last month was up here 721 ish level. And so a breakout of this probably would take a little bit more of something of value, something of making the value. Now we have seen reverse stock splits not care about any of that and just rip. We've seen errors, but this one was a logical one that actually did what most stock splits should do logically. There's a small percentage that just keep ripping, and you wake up and they're like at $15. But for the majority, we see these big old dumps. Big old long bar from 644 all the way down to 452. Wow. Good morning, GD. We're watching PCSA dump on people. It is now down negative 10%. Just insanity. Okay, let's jump over here to the scan. So, and the other thing that I was noticing, so PCSA yesterday, it was presenting a ATR of 1.5 or $1.50. When I went and checked on its and it's continued to dump as well. When I went and checked on its documentation, its financials, based on the whole ATR was based on the stock split. It was like, oh, this big move happened, $1.50 in the stock split and all of this. But I noticed that it wasn't showing up on my TOS scanner for things of an ATR above 150. And I was like, what in the world's going on? Because usually things that have a dollar ATR are going to show up on my top volume list like these: Mara, TNA, Tesla, all of this. But this one, in its documentation, that ATR just did not make sense. Like its financials and its actual percentage move, it was based on just a split. So I was like, man, is this a false ATR? And I was noticing yesterday, the relative volume, it was chopping around. If we look back here, to have $1.50, it chopped around $3 all the way up to $5, right? Big wicks. Now, usually things with higher ATRs have those bigger, a little bit bigger candles. You may see them go $2, $3 moves and things like that. But I mean, this thing just had huge wicks on it, huge wicks. And I'm wondering today how many people are going to end up trying to play this range back over 450 and get chopped or catch a falling knife here coming into the open. Now, like I said at the beginning, I do have a meeting coming up at 8:30, so the open, and that's when I'm going to be jumping on out so I can get to that meeting. But I was just looking around. I wasn't expecting it to dump this early. I was expecting it to dump at the open, but now it's dumping here, and it's breaking down previous lows. This previous low of the 484 all the way through that. Previous low of the 425-ish level, almost all the way through that. So interesting how it gave everybody that already had shares time to sell, and now people coming in after them, they're going to be needing to buy a whole lot to move this thing up. because there are a lot of sellers in this big old candle here. All right, but anyway, are you guys looking into anything this morning, seeing any big movers or whatnot? Maybe they don't have an ATR of $1, maybe they're a little bit lower. I'm still waiting on Tesla to calm down. RVSN was another mover that we saw on yesterday, moving from the 673 up here to the 1027. Nothing really. GD said you bought 415, sold 491. Nice on PCSA on yesterday. Nice. Yeah, so that was a nice buy. Oh, you bought way down here. Yeah, that was definitely a buy, and I guess that does make sense because looking out here on the monthly chart, that this little level here, where is it? Is this where it was? 415. Where's 415 down here? It was in this buying level somewhere where this previous buying level was for. Well, actually, it was at the bottom of this buying level right here at the. Wow. So yeah, you bought the very bottom of that. Let me see what it looks like on the weekly chart. 359 somewhere. Daily chart, we can see the indecision at the 403. And the top side of this body was 406. So somewhere up in here, you got your you got in on this little indecision mark. Okay. Or maybe, I don't know what time frame that you use to enter it. Maybe you use them all. I don't know. But definitely a nice little take there on that reverse stock split news. And now it's breaking down even the 425s. That must be a huge seller, man. For it to move that much. that's way farther than its supposed ATR. It's supposed ATR. But I'm glad you got out before all of this happened. And it's right back to your buying area of 415, which is crazy, right? It's like I bought at 415 and now it's cruising on down through 415. I'm wondering how quickly it'll break the 375s down here. Looking like it's going towards the breakdown of 4. We have seen a couple of these type moves over the last couple of weeks. But most of them were like Chinese stocks that were dumping and they just continued to dump. This one, not a Chinese stock, but man, it is definitely leaving some bag holders on this one. Donnell says, I don't see anything I like. Mike D, good morning. Good morning. We're out here watching PCSA absolutely destroy any longs this morning. Back over here, right now, the top mover that I see with ATR over $1 is Mara. And then next in line is Tesla. But nothing up 10%, up 20%, none of that. PCSA is now down 19%. We have about 15 minutes to open. But like I was saying, you know, we're just kind of looking around until the open because I got to get to this meeting. I got to go get this money, man. I got to go get it. Got a couple of businesses to meet with, and we're keeping it rolling. But yeah, definitely not looking like a favorable. And this is how I look at some when I'm looking at these chart patterns. I'm like, what is the probability that this thing pops and can engulf the previous candle? I mean, what kind of optimism? You know how much optimism you would have to have for this thing at the open to bounce from 4 all the way and engulf this whole candle? That's a lot of optimism. That's hopes and dreams. Now, it is possible, but you know, it's like, do I want to catch this falling knife and put all of my hopes on it getting back up to 6? But, you know, like I said, it is possible. It's the stock market. Things can get irrational, especially on something that's done a reverse stock split and people are looking at the moves that it's done and thinking, okay, I think this thing can do it again and again. And the pattern just gets more and more consolidated again and again. So it may have a little bit of a bounce up, but I don't know if it's going to be overtaking this whole previous 15-minute candle. Especially with being down 18% on the day. Most people are looking to trade things that have the momentum up, 10%, 20%, 50%, 100%, those big percentage gainers. Today, I mean, if you were a short, you probably have better entries than longs. Buying those little pops back up. Or not buying, shorting into those pops back up. Let's go look at the SPY real quick and see what she is up to. So the SPY clear breakout has been breaking out for the pretty much this whole month over the 478s. I was thinking maybe it will find a little top here, but it had a slight pullback under this level when it first came up here. This was a double top level and just has continued to rip through this. So SPY still overly bullish. I've seen a lot of bears that were thinking what I was thinking. Hey, this thing's coming into a double top, but this whole thing was wrong. The good thing about this is if you properly manage your risk, if you're directly trading the SPY, and you put your risk after it came and it failed up here 478, the most you lose or the most you could gain is down here, what, $10 gain to the 68s. And then when it comes back up here trying to rip out, you just go ahead and stop out, man. Just get out, and it just doesn't take all your money, because this is a $10 move out of this range for anybody that was shorting or had puts on the market. So that is not what you want to be a part of. Stop. Today, though, during the open, we're seeing it kind of pull back here on the 15-minute. But I still don't think it's done, because looking on this daily, look at this, how strong this has been. Now, I do see this candle. This candle is interesting on the daily chart. Sometimes those pin bars, sometimes this little level right here needs to be retested. So 87 to down to the 85 may need to be retested. It is Friday, so I guess it is a sell-off day. It could come down and retest these levels. We'll see what happens, but I'll continue to watch throughout the day. Well, no, I won't. I don't have time to continue to watch throughout the day today. But I will come back at the end of the day and kind of see what the markets ended up doing. But for right now, man, not really seeing the small caps alive other than PCSA, which I wouldn't count it as alive. I wonder what its new relative volume is going to be. Yesterday, its relative volume ended at 753 times its normal volume. 753 times. That's insane. And then its relative standard deviation, of course, it was out there, almost 8 deviations away from the norm. Vera, I don't think I was watching that one too hard yesterday. I think it was a mover, but it wasn't one of the movers. One of the things I was looking at yesterday during intraday was PCSA was being overshadowed by Vera, VERA, and RVSN on lower volume. Their volumes was like way lower, but they were just going. I mean, RSVN, you can see it moved from $6 up here to $10. I was like, okay, because I was interested in PCSA because, it was a top gainer, had a lot of relative volume. People were looking at it, but it just wasn't acting right. It was not acting right. So if this candle closes here around 410, I mean, what's the probability that the next candle out here, the next 15-minute candle, shoots back up? Probability getting worse and worse as these candles close. And that's one of the reasons I like to see the candles close and see that formation, because I'm trying to predict what pattern is coming, but quickly identify what pattern is coming. Oh, that's another thing. I've been documenting my patterns and all of that stuff on let me find it. Patterns that I'm looking for, trade. Okay, so these are some of the patterns that I've been collecting data for. Okay, so first one, the blue sky pattern, the one where you have something that really hasn't been trading for a long time, but you got the blue sky, right? Second one is the daily support bounce. So that is something where, on the daily, it has double tapped. So one tap and then two taps, and you got your nice little daily built-in support. Double bottom, late play. So basically the double bottom, what I mean is by late play is the double bottom has already happened and you're getting the breakout to the upside. Flat top breakout, y'all already know what that is. I'm really trying to aim for things that have a good history, that have a nice strong flat top to break. For that play, gap fill resistance. So gap fill resistance means that it's heading up to whatever level. Like if it's at $5 and it's got a gap fill all the way at 7 or 8, that play. Gap fill support, if it's going down, filling a downwards gap, taking those red to green moves, historical support bounce, and triple bottoms. So I got a whole bunch of plays here, and what I'm doing is collecting data. Whether I trade it or not, I'm looking at the percentages of what works. I want to see what kind of grade that stock got, and then from that grade and the percentage that it happens, let's say if I get 100 of each of these, I can see what percentages that and I'm gonna build a Excel to manage all of this and come over here and read these files or whatnot. But I want to see the percentages and how aggressive I should be on any of these plays. If something's working like 80% of the time, and of course the market changes, so the data may change, but right now we're in a type of market that is kind of half and half. We have really hot days and then it'll cool off and then it may stay cool for a little bit. And then we have some really choppy days that people are thinking, oh, this is a hot day and it's really choppy. And then again, we have some more really big hot days. So it's all about the data, man. It's all about the data. And that's what I'm doing, is just collecting the data. And I pretty much nailed down what variables that I'm looking for specifically for a day trade. But yeah, that's pretty much it. PCSA, pretty much the only thing right now, and nobody's liking this look. Now, psychologically, we'll see what kind of I can't see any big buyers getting back into this. Maybe they will, but I'm thinking this is going to be a dump on retail. Well, it's already been a dump on retail, but I think it's going to be even more of a dump on retail. Down to this 415 level. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to jump off in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go and get to this meeting, and yeah, you guys, if you're gonna trade today, definitely keep your head on the swivel. I'm gonna come back after the market and review everything that happens, because I just don't have time. I gotta go get this this bread elsewhere. So any day that I'm gonna be super busy, I just try to stay away from the market so I don't get my toes chopped off. Because if I'm in a call and trying to answer questions and blah 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 blah, and then now I'm in a trade and I'm in a call and I'm trying to answer questions and I'm trying to program and I'm good. So especially with it being a Friday, I mean, this has been an okay week. So just letting it ease on by. Looking for the next, and the big thing that was moving, the catalyst that has kind of lingered off now, is DWAC with the presidential news. But just waiting for the next news to come out that could be a multi-day runner. because everything isn't a day trade. Some of these, and that's what I've just had to come to the realization. Some of these catalysts will kill you on the first day when it's up 100%, and then 2, 3, 4 days later, now it's ready to run. It's like, okay, everybody's got what they want. Let's now push to the moon. So a lot of data to be collected for day trades, for swing trades, for longer term investment, but I try to take everything in consideration. Trying to consolidate the process for each one. If I'm gonna take a swing trade, what does it need to look like? If I'm gonna take a day trade, what does it need to look like? Long term, that's pretty much my dividend portfolio, which is doing amazing. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, we got about 3 minutes to the open. I'm going to leave you guys to it, to take all of the money out of the market that you can. And I will be back on Monday morning. I have a little bit more time to do a regular stream. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is when I try to get out here and review the market with you guys. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today. I'm getting my messages right now. They're popping up. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get over here. Y'all have a great one. And as always, don't catch a falling knife. Remember, it's Friday. Some of the people that have made their money, they have, they're kind of playing it safe. So it may not be as much size, as much volume today. But as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.